Ready for the man with the machete, because real men have machetes, right? Welcome the man behind the mask as Jason Vorhees in Friday the 13th, Part 6. I know Roman numerals a little bit. Mr. C.J. Graham. Let me fix the blankie for you. This is a whole new setup. Sure. Do we want to just watch it now?
Out of this. Some of us are old.
That's why I'm still standing. I'm just not going to sit.
Morning, everybody. Morning.
Well, welcome to Evansville WarCon. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
I think it is so interesting that, we know you as the scary guy behind the mask, but really, you're a businessman. You're like a kind of a tycoon, I think, is what I think of. I think C.J. Graham, I think, hotel tycoon. Is that kind of good?
Actually, it's true. I for 22 years after I left this industry, I was in the casino industry. The last 9 years of the 22, I was the chief operating officer, general manager of $2 billion resorts. So I was a suit and tie guy. And then about 9 years ago, I retired. So here I am.
And you only do 13 cons a year. Is that accurate?
That's it. 13 is my number. I've already got 13 booked for this year.
Is there a surprising amount of Friday the 13th in this year?
There's 3.
Okay, that's like a lot, right?
3, yeah. But there's opportunity to do so many conventions. The last decade, it just manipulated where there's conservatively 20, 30, 40 a year. If you really want to engage, it's just that, retired means retired.
And what does retired look like for you, aside from the 13 parts?
I do the 13 shows. I live in Montana. I've got horses, so I shovel horse shit. And like doing a show like this nicely will buy 5 tons of hay for a year.
That's a fun fact.
So, but I've got a little ranch up in Montana. My day looks just like getting up in the morning, getting the horses fed, getting the alpacas fed, flipping out the chickens, and then go back to bed.
Get up with the chickens and then go to bed. That's right. And you've also served in our military.
I did. I was in the military 52 years ago. So I got the last 2 years of Vietnam, 74, 75, through 78. So I knew when I was 17. So if you're doing the math, that makes me 69.
Nobody was doing the math. Nobody's doing that.
Old. Most of you could be my children.
Yes, but thank you for your service. So it's interesting that you didn't go out seeking show business. You didn't seek out Hollywood. It found you.
Yeah, I had no intent to do anything with the Hollywood quote-unquote scene. And here we are 40 years later. This year is 40 years since Friday the 13th Part 6 came out. I was general manager of a large nightclub in LA, give or take 15,000 square feet, which means I was enjoying the Hollywood nightlife.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we didn't use cameras back then, so I don't know nothing. We were smarter than you because it was like, what? I know nothing about that. You wake up the next morning in my day and go, that was dumb. But we didn't cry foul. We just said, that was dumb. Or you want to, chew your arm off and leave it there at the bed, Oh, God. So we were a little smarter than y'all that want to take pictures of everything. Shit's with you forever.
Any names you want to drop? Just like, you don't have to tell a story about anybody, but like, who would we think, oh my gosh, you had interactions with who?
Well, I also ran, after I left and got into the industry, I was running a private restaurant nightclub for Jackie Collins, Joan Collins' sister. So that was membership only. Prince, table 43, red wine. Stallone, table 5.
Wait, not like a purple wine?
No,
I don't know why.
he liked his red wine. Stallone liked table 5 out. This is when he was single. 2 blondes, 2 bodyguards, 2 bottles of Cristal. And then, of course, you got Tom Jones, who his son was managing at the bar. We saw a lot of people coming and going in and out.
That is so interesting. How much was a membership?
It was private, meaning Joan Collins' sister Jackie and Oscar Lerman made the decision. You had to apply for a membership and they had to approve it.
Are there still things like that today?
I don't know.
It's not that we're trying to get in any clubs or anything. We're just wondering.
You know, I assume, I mean, in those
Or if
days,
everything's just so public now, everybody would know and it wouldn't be like a thing.
Well, everybody knew with the two black doors represented in Beverly Center, that was a private restaurant nightclub behind it, when you look at all the cars out front, but nobody really knew, because to get through the first door, there were two people at a desk, checking your ID and talking to you and making sure you're in the system before you went through the next open door. And then you gotta get to the major D, who then puts you in the section you want to see. So it really was a little more complicated than just walking through the door and say, hey, can I get a membership?
I'm on the list, I promise.
There was no list. Yeah, there was no list.
So you're doing this thing, and then all of a sudden, how do you pick Jason?
You know, it's one of those things where I had a hypnotist on Thursday nights at a club in Glendale that I was operating. And the hypnotist on Thursday decided to bring in special effects people to do a videotape because he wanted to promote a show. The people that came in were called Real Effects, REEL Effects. And if you go back and look at part 4, they're the folks who did all the special effects for Ted White in part 4 movie. They were just talking to the hypnotist, just casually saying, well, let's put CJ's big ass in Ted White's wardrobe. We'll make a breakaway screen. He can come through and scare the subjects. And the rest is history, because when I did it, in their mind, oh, geez, we're gonna make a great Jason. We're gonna cast you for Jason. Yeah, right. And about 3-4 months later, I got a call to go to Fairmont Studios and meet Frank Mancuso Jr. And sincerely, the rest is just history. Dropped in my lap.
That is so cool. So, have you done any other Hollywood acting or anything like that outside of a mask?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone see your face?
No, yeah, I have actually. When I first did it, I did a movie called Highway to Hell with, everybody's going, yeah. Highway to Hell was with Christy Swanson, the original Buffy the Vampire. The interesting about that is I wore prosthetics again. During that duration, I did half a dozen national commercials, you know, AT&T, Colgate, Gatorade, those type of things. And then about 8 years into it, I already knew it was too big to be a mainstream actor. Everybody knows Tom Cruise is about 5'8" on a good day. So they don't want me to stand next to him, to be fair. It's abstract. So I went back to the casino industry because I already had a few years in it in Las Vegas, and I stayed for that duration. And about 9 years ago when I retired, since then I've come out and did 13 Fanboy, Vengeance 1, Vengeance 2, Slice, and a couple other independent films. And people just call. I don't mind doing them because it's fun. I don't look at the paycheck concept of it. I look at maybe I can help somebody get that B12 shot to get it in. It's like when you see Terrifier, I mean, it was just a fan film, and it's become mainstream, you know, 3 movies later.
So, have you seen all those movies? Are you a horror fan?
No, I'm not. My horror fan world is, hey, you're late.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave now.
What? Now you got excuses?
Never late.
Yeah, I'm old school. I love Universal. Universal horror, black and white, Frankenstein, Dracula, Mummy, those are me. So I'm older than you, but I like the simplicity of those films and take some of that Boris Karloff and those that have done that, make it for themselves back then and compare them to today. I really enjoy those. You know, you look at the shadows, you know, because the lighting isn't done very good. Anytime there's a chance to see 1939 Dracula, man, I turn right there and watch the whole thing. Guy with claws, big claws and stuff. So, but I really do enjoy the old. Now the OGs, you know, you got Mikey, you got the pedophile Freddy, and you got Leatherface and Jason, the OG original gangsters. I'm fortunate to be of that era, and here we are 4 decades later still talking. So keep our fingers crossed.
So, and I love that your wife gets to come and do some of the shows with you. Is she here this weekend?
Why does everybody laugh? No, she's not. She goes maybe once a year, and everybody, when I do a show, is Ruby here? Star? Wife? Star? And that's what they say, is Ruby here? I have a really very sweet, engaging wife. Number one, she's very supportive of my gaming career, because being a casino executive, you're working 24/7, 365. But she comes once, maybe twice a year. You know, we have a couple daughters and stuff. One of them has 2 boys, give or take 3.5, and
So have the grandkids, are they old enough to see?
Well, they all have hockey. They both have hockey mitts. The two boys have hockey mitts. And hockey, they have Jason t-shirts they wear. But I'm not sure they get the connectivity. But you know, it's a choice. Honey, you want to go to a show with me, or you want to go see the grandkids? Of course, she goes to see the grandkids. So, but she's going to go this year. I'm going to go up to Niagara Falls and do a show. And she's going to go up there because she wants to go see the Niagara Falls again. She likes that.
So I'm sure we've got a lot of questions to get to. Yes? Question helpers in the back.
Hey guys, you bring enough food for everybody? Come on here and show everybody what you got.
We
Don't
do
be
have some
embarrassed.
amazing food
Clean your
trucks
mouth
out
off.
front, so if you're
Did
hungry.
you just spit that out? Caught them both off guard. They just got lunch for the first time,
I know.
and now I'm jacking on them. Come sit here with me. I don't mind. She's still eating food.
Here, Izzy, you finish your food. Go get your food in. You sit there with CJ. I'm gonna attempt to get on the stage without falling. Okay.
Everyone's like, really? Just throw it in.
Question.
I thought it was interesting that you brought up Boris Karloff and liking him. Did that inform your performance of Jason? Because I know there's a lot of electricity, like he's brought back to life with electricity, a lot like Frankenstein in that film. Did that inform your performance any?
I believe so, because Tom McLaughlin, the writer-director, is of that era also, and very much into Universal 4. But he did tell me he didn't want a robot, he didn't want a zombie. There had to be some connectivity with electricity as you continue to go through the process.
We're gonna have to meet somewhere.
At the beginning of part 6, Jason is pushing as just a corpse. What was the, makeup transformation like for that?
Well, if I understood the question, it's more the prosthetics and putting it all together. At first it was difficult, because I had full prosthetics all the way through. Once we got through the opening scene, and don't forget, the movie shot on a sequence, so the opening scene could have been at the end. And once they cut everything off, it became much more simpler. It was 2 hours I was in makeup and I was killing people. So from the beginning though, it would take me about 3 to 4 hours. Highway to Hell's another example, it took me 5 hours to get into makeup.
Why does Jason always come back to life?
That's Megan asking you that question.
Are you Megan 2.0? Think about what I said. Are you Megan 2.0? That's because Megan comes back to make money. That's why Megan came back to 2.0 and Jason comes back to point 12. It's honestly, that's true. In your character, there was 1 and then there's 2.0. And if the movies are successful, Terrifier 1, 2, 3, if they're successful monetarily, it puts money in people's pocket and there's entertainment value for everybody, it just makes sense to do it again.
So someone who's never been in film, made a film, anything like that, it just seems exciting from just even in the background, from beginning to end, what you guys do. But it's not really like that, is it? There's a lot of downtime, or I don't know, is it as exciting as it looks, or?
No, it's as boring as hell.
There is a lot of
No, seriously.
downtime, right?
You can take a scene and it'll take 12 seconds to shoot it, 8 hours to prep for it. And I'm not exaggerating, I could be on set all night like this, waiting in the back of a truck with my hood on, my eyes blacked out, wardrobe on.
So the 5 hours that you said for the makeup, that was every time you shot?
Yeah.
Wow.
For Highway to Hell, every time I shot, I was in the chair at 3 o'clock in the morning for 5 hours doing prosthetics before I even got on set. And then on set, I'd be on set for another 12 hours because it was a day shoot.
Thanks.
Do you think you'll return in any other Jason movies or parts?
Tom McLaughlin, the writer-director of Part 6, has written a Part 13, Jason Never Dies. He's inquired a few years ago when he talked to me about doing it. I mean, for those of you that are doing, I'm going to pop the 545 photo walk with me, I'll be in full wardrobe. When you see me in full wardrobe, I guarantee you, you'll think I just stepped off the set. I'm still 6'3", 250, and just as ugly as I was back then. Wardrobe, though, is spot on. So when you see me step around the corner, you go, damn. So Tom has inquired, here's the challenge. When I was young, when I hit the ground, I tuck and roll. When I hit the ground now, I go thump. Now, have you ever seen a turtle roll over? It ain't nice. It's like, honey, I can't get out of the bathtub, I'm stuck. So, I don't know if I could physically do it, because if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right. I don't want to be the football player that came off the chair, so to speak, and then just couldn't perform. Embarrassing. And I'd want to do it my own stunts. So, I don't know, it depends on what the stunts were. Take my knees, take my ankles, maybe. I don't know. You know, I wouldn't do it for the money. This is not enough to jack yourself up. I mean, I am 69, so I'm kind of old fart. I know my limitations, but wouldn't it be fun if I could do part 13? Where'd my girl go? Are you eating again?
I was just had a question. What was your most uncomfortable or scene, or what you felt maybe dangerous scenes?
Well, at the time, I didn't think anything was dangerous. You know, about a year ago, I was sitting in a chair up here, and somebody goes, "So was that a breakaway chain underwater?" Breakaway chain. No. Dawned on me that I'm 20 feet underwater with a real chain, and I'm standing on 2 center blocks, and the only thing I've got for oxygen is signaling to 2 guys outside in the air. The chain wasn't breakaway, so at that point I thought, well, I guess I didn't realize there was a breakaway chain. You know, something I could break and get the hell out of there. The chain was real, it was keeping me down on the center block. So now that I've got that question, I'm going, how come we didn't have a breakaway? I asked Tom that, how come we didn't have a breakaway chain? He goes, we didn't think about it. But I will tell you the most uncomfortable was highway health. The prosthetics went all around my lips, blue, etc. So when it came to lunchtime, I got shakes, protein shakes, because I could drink out of a straw, but if I tried eating, everything would come off the oils.
So any questions over here? Side.
No questions? I'm out of here. Kane Hodder, have a nice day.
More questions? We have so many people. I know you have questions. I saved all the horror questions for you guys. You know that.
When you ate, how bad did the oil taste?
Well, the oil, it wasn't the oil as much as the skin oil. If you try to eat, you have a hamburger, for instance, and the oil's getting into your prosthetics, and it just pulls off. Before you know it, your lip's hanging down here. Once you got all that oil and different sweat on your face, you can't attach, it doesn't glue very well. So what you're doing is basically shaking up a protein shake and just sucking it down to get you through. But every time I didn't get a meal, they paid me extra money, just so you know. It's like every time they set me on fire, I got paid more money. I'm like, shit, I could do this all day. So they'd set me on fire, light me up, we do the scene. What about this scene? Yeah, I can do that. Going back to, really didn't understand. For those of you that didn't know this, I'm not a stunt guy. I didn't go to stunt school. I'd never done a stunt in my life when I did Friday the 13th Part 6. Everything I did was OJT, on the jump training, you know. When they're setting me on fire, chinning me down, going through walls and windows, getting shot, having cables on my back to go flying back through the air 10 feet. I never went to school for any of that stuff. I was just young and cocky, and they offered me money. I could almost do anything for money. Which question, partner?
Hello, CJ. How are you doing today, sir?
Good, bro.
I was just wondering, so Part 6 has more of a comedic tint to it than every other Friday the 13th film. What was going through your mind while you were working through production on, basically you had to act a little different than every other Jason before you. So what was in your mind going through that process?
Not much. Two answers to your question. I didn't watch the ones prior, so I really didn't have a concept of what was up. I didn't even look at the script. Never. I they told me what the scene entailed, and I went to work. So the word virgin is what I was, because every time they'd say, hey, here's what we're gonna do, I want you to go through the wall, you gotta get your foot on the floor, then you're gonna grab Megan's head, then you can start to squeeze it. I didn't really I don't remember looking at the script even once. I really don't. I have the script still, but I never looked at it. It's just the application of what I had to do was, Tom McLaughlin gave me direction, gave me some ideas, asked me to create a character, stay within the boundaries, and off I was running. So it was pretty cool.
In Friday the 13th, Part 6, the video game, Part 6, Jason can sense counselors better, but cannot run and has weaker grip strength. Do you think that's a fair assessment of yourself compared to the other Jasons?
You know, real men use a machete, not an Outback steak knife. You understand? Because you must be a Mikey Myers fan. Right?
Jason all the way.
Yeah. I see that shirt over there, both of you. Yeah, shit's coming down real fast. Going back to your question, the game, my understanding, and I only got to see bits and pieces, because they took it down and started making money, right? But I was always told that the Part 6 character was a little more favored because of all the weapons. So, not really sure about the grip concept, is give you a fair answer of that. But like I said, you know, real men use a machete, not an Outback steak knife. Right, you can tell Mickey I said that. And anybody goes out to see Lee, the guy uses a butter knife. You can tell him I said that too.
All right, my question is, out of all of Jason's kills in Part 6, which was the most fun to film?
Well, I think my favorite, there's two questions, you know, because you gotta put it, my favorite is killing the sheriff. There's no blood, no guts, pure power. But the one you guys didn't get to see was horseshit. When I pulled that heart out, the actual shot, it was pumping. It was beautiful. But in those days, you couldn't put that in because they'd be rated X. They cut it. Now, also in those days, everything was shot with 35mm. When they cut it, slice it, dice it, it went on the floor, sweep, in the garbage. So all of that director's cut that could be put together out today is gone. I mean, gone physically, where today everything's digital. You know, you got it forever. Going back to in my day, we didn't take pictures, we weren't dumb. So, you know, I wish we had it because that was a great shot. I mean, the squishing that coming out, the same thing with the girl's head. When I twisted it off, you could see the skin and then the vein popping, which in today's world would be on your regular TV, you know. But I wish they could have saved it because the director's cut would have been so much more gross than just the simplicity of some of the humor. You guys are late. You got a note? You too, son.
How to eat something.
It's lunchtime. There we go.
Did you ever get to keep like any mask or any clothes from the set?
I'm not sure how to answer that. So what I'm
There's a
going to do
statute of
is-
limitations, I think, right?
Well, I don't know about that either, so I ain't taking no chances. Somehow there were 2 masks in one of my bags when I got home.
Yeah.
What the hell? I didn't know what to do with them. Production was closed. I did a convention way back when, and some dude came by with a mask. And there's numbers on them. I know what they are. Hey, dude, where'd you get this? This is a real mask. Oh, when he told me what he paid for it, I went out the next week and sold one on eBay. I still have one though. It's a shadow box. My son is 30. It's his. Whenever he wants it. He's been offered, you know, tens of thousands for it. He's been offered a 1970 Mach 1 with a 351 Cleveland. I mean, he's had some real nice offers for it. I did see about 4 years ago there was a big auction in New York, if I recall, and a mask went for almost 80,000. So they're very collectible, I guess, you know. But I've already given it to him. It's his, whatever he wants to do with it. But I just don't know how. I must have. I don't know.
They wanted you to have
That's
it.
my story, and I'm sticking to it. No cameras.
What was your favorite scene that you did?
My first scene, great question. Very first scene I ever did with the Jason wardrobe is, for those of you that are embedded in the film, Jason's profile walks into the camera, the motorhome is behind it, he turns and looks at it, tilts his head just this much. For those of you that play Jason and do this, no, it's not this, it's that much. Because on camera it showed. So I looked at the motorhome that went towards the motorhome, that's where I killed the two people. That was my very, very, very first scene in the movie. So for me personally, that will always be my favorite scene. Got to be in the wardrobe, got to be in the Universal movies with Paramount Studios. It's pretty cool.
Do you know how old your youngest fan is? Like, who is child that's seen the movies?
Well, right now, one of my youngest would be Matt's son. He's 6. We haven't met. No, really, the
Rocket.
proposed son. He's here. He's one of my biggest fans. He's 6 years old. I've had some that are a little bit smaller, but if you see him running around with his partner in crime, and you ask him who's his favorite Jason, C.J. He's got a picture of me 2 years ago when I was here in wardrobe, and he was just littler then. I was kind of big, and I just picked him up in wardrobe and just looked at him.
We're talking about your son, Lindsay.
And there's a picture of us. Yeah, we're talking about man. So, you know, he's 6. That's a good idea. So there's generational opportunity here, decades of people from 6 years old to I'm 69, my age and older.
My understanding is you weren't involved in the paintball sequence at all, any of the reshoots for that or anything?
No, so I originally didn't get the part. It was given to a stunt guy. I'll go why is that? The paintball scene, for those of you that take a look at it, most of you just assume I'm wearing padding because he's a little thicker. All right. Unfortunately for that person, when that day they came back, which was the first scene they shot, perception wasn't received well from Paramount Studios, and the individual was let go, and I was brought in 4 days later. I'd already interviewed for it, and it was one of the 2 contenders, but that person was a stunt guy, and I wasn't. But the physical structure is a little different than mine.
Do you get recognized more now than you did when the movie first came out because people didn't know what you looked like?
You know what's interesting is it's crazy. I'll be going to the airport and at TSA agent will go, C.J. Graham. Jason? Yeah. Really? I go, you know, Derek Mears? Yeah, you see the bald guy back there? That's Derek. Derek, come to the front line. I mean, and I've been to Universal Studios and somebody go, like Jason. There are some hardcore folks that know exactly what you look like, which is nice. You know, I mean, I'll go to Albertsons, my town, and I think the guy's bringing me the card. He's bringing the card over to me to give it to me. Hey, Jason, didn't you hear you CJ? Really? Dude, okay. So it's an honor. It's an honor that people even hear.
CJ, first off, it's an honor to speak with you. My question is, was there any bloopers in Friday 13th Part 6 that you may have been a part of?
Other than that shirt you're wearing?
Oh,
touche.
Go ahead, stand up and show everybody that shirt. What I just got done saying about machetes and Outback steakhouse. Yeah.
Hey, listen, you could be a fan of both worlds.
Turn that shit inside out.
Exit
Somebody
stage
came up,
left.
I don't know if he's in here, but somebody came up to my table and he's wearing a Nick Castle. And I put on there Nick Who. Right? Nick Who. And then he came back and said, I gotta have you autograph it. Bloopers. Yeah, there are. It's hard for me to identify them. The crew, in that day, back in the 80s, the big thing was rubber chicken. Rubber chicken going like this, dangling around. They had a rubber chicken in the background in a couple shots with the shadow where they would shoot, you could see the chicken dangling. I have to sit there and really watch it to find them because they only got away with it a couple times before Tom got on. But yeah, there's always a bloop bloop.
Yeah, this is not necessarily a question for you, but
Give me the mic back.
come on a minute. Like is adoring you to death, and they come here all the time just to see you. And we know your birthday was on Thursday. and you usually come here and sign autographs for everybody. So they wanted me to get a mask, and they signed all their autographs for you, so you'll have autographs.
I appreciate it.
We'll allow that.
Come here, son. Come on, this is what it's like being up in the front. Thank you. Did everybody see this? Got a question, so I have to partner, what's your name? What's your name?
What's your name?
Brett.
Brett!
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh.
No, I think that we.
Jace.
This was Jace.
This was Jace.
Oh,
Jace
Jake?
gave that to you. Jace.
Jace.
He has not gone back to sleep, so we're good. Okay.
This young lady, yeah. What you got? Tatum, a little out of phone, sorry. I was in the military, so my hearing sucks.
When you played with machete, real or really fake?
Oh, it was real. Just like the one I sell on my table, it's real. Right? The nice thing about that is, the same thing with the hunting knives, it was real. And, you know, kudos to Tom, because I pulled that knife out and slammed it towards his head, that's real, and then stopped. And then they inserted, brought it backwards. Same thing with the machete, when you saw me do things like when I cut the wire and stuff, that was me slamming right into that 4x4. It was interesting.
I got a question. Who would win, Jason or Michael? Jason or Michael Myers?
Why? You keep saying that.
I'm sorry, there must be a fart in there.
Jason or Michael Myers?
Okay, here's a real question over here. I hope. My goodness.
I have a real question. Was it hard or easy to play that part of Jason?
I thought it was easy.
Thought it was
I
easy.
mean, some people are going to interpret it a little differently, I think. You know, I've only been on the military a few years, so even today I still have that 30 inches all around walk. And I am 6'3", 250, so if I come through the door, you're going to notice me, unfortunately. I don't hide well in crowds. But I will tell you the nice thing about it is, when you're wearing a hockey mask, it doesn't matter who you are. If you put that on, you'll notice that your perception of distance left, right, and down is gone. You can't see your feet as you put them down. So you are very conscientious about taking each step as a result of that, which may have added to the character reference of my footsteps. Hi, Matt.
Hi. Good to see you, the pastor, sorry.
About how long were you in the water when you did the death scene?
We were in the water all night. All right, that was an all-night scene. Do you guys remember a movie with Roger, or not Roger, Dungeonfield, what's his name? Rodney Dungeonfield, remember that? He went to school, and there was a diving pool that he used. That was the USC 20-foot diving pool we used. So what they did is they put a black tarp all the way around it at night, and then that's I couldn't see. There's nothing. Everything I did was touch. I mean, you know, one eye's blacked out, and it's pitch black. I felt, you know, the stuntman's head, legs, arms, throat, but I didn't see anything. It was just pitch black. And then about every 10, 15 minutes, they'd unhook me and take me up to the top, and I'd watch a little black and white monitor and see what we were doing. The director would say, move this way, move that way, turn that way. Now get a hold of this neck, now blow out the bubbles, yada, yada. And it took all night. Safety divers were complaining a little bit about the cold, and they were wearing quarter-inch suits. But once you get to a cold level, you don't want to get out. You just stay.
You're one of my highest honored people.
Thank you.
Did you like standing on the overturned RV?
Yeah, that's a pretty cool shot. That was the thing I liked about that is it's an iconic shot. Once it flipped, they unhooked the door, and then I got on some boxes and squatted down and hit them with my fist. We didn't think it would fly like it did. I mean, it was gone. and then I stepped out. You see me step out, I had to step out of a couple boxes you don't see, but the object was I had to step out without falling. You know, you gotta powerfully step it out and then walk to the edge and just stand there like, I own this territory.
First of all, could we just appreciate this outfit? Show him.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
There we go.
Where's the little Michael Myers guy? Go!
He kicked him out. He's gone. He's gone. Don't worry.
Okay, so do you have a favorite execution from your movie that you got to do?
What do you mean execution? That
Kill.
caught me off guard.
I know.
You mean a kill?
Yes.
Where'd you get that fancy word execution?
I'm so sorry.
Why are you so complicated?
Well versed here.
Well versed.
No, well, earlier, what I had mentioned is still, it'll always be the sheriff kill will be my favorite because of the power, what it took to do it. But if you would have gotten to see that Horseshack kill with that heart, that was friggin' amazing how they did that. Because it was a dummy. And I reached through this rubber compound and pushed through it, you could like skin, and then pulling it out and seeing that blood popping. That's pretty amazing. And then the cutback to Horseshack's face, you know, with the big hole in his chest. So I wish we could have got that.
Aside from horror movies, what's your favorite movie that you could just watch every day? It's a thinker. That's what I
really
do.
have an answer to that. And the reason for that is I enjoy action. You know, I mean, I'm okay with the love potions and stuff, but you know, it's more because Ruby wants to watch it. You know, I'm not real good about crying, but I like to see action because I get bored. You know, I got ADHD. I got to keep moving here. You know, it's like, come on, what's next? Kill somebody. You know, Legends of the Fall was, I thought was cool. Had a good moral to it. Standing. I mean, I like 1883 and Yellowstone that was out recently, the series. I thought they were pretty tight. So, I mean, I like, plus I live in Montana, so I kind of rolled with it.
So, do you have like a least favorite chore? I just like to picture Jason doing chores around the house and be like, man, I'm gonna do the dishes again, or what's like the thing?
I don't do the dishes, which is interesting, but I shove lawnmower here. You know, I mean, every day, those guys move. You ever got horses? They can lay it out. You know, you gotta get it out there. You can't leave it in your pen, man. You gotta lay it.
Finally, time for the most important question of the day. Do you ever rock out to Man Behind the Mask by Alice Cooper? Because you're this Jason.
Good question, but you know what? A true story. True story. My very, very, very first concert I ever went to in my life was 1973. I was 16. Was Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. Just so you know. And that was when I'm 18. School's out forever. So, but yeah, my very first, and then to work with him in 86, and I do see him once a year. If you guys are upstairs, when you see David Terrifier, his manager Bob was with him, or he's a baseball guy. Bob is also the manager of Alice Cooper when Alice Cooper does convention. So when we do convention together, we'll get a wardrobe. He doesn't have to get a wardrobe, but I do. And we take photos with all the fans and stuff. So it's kind of cool. My very first concert's Alice Cooper, and then I get to work with him periodically over the last 4 years. Cool deal.
That makes it even cooler here.
Do we have any more questions?
Satan, stand up and give me a question.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I have to get past this guy first. Hold on.
I went to an Alice Cooper concert, and they had a guy dressed up as Jason that did the background noise. Lights came on, people just backed up. It was amazing.
It's Alice. Alice is very proud. Going back to your question about being involved with the Jason, and you got to be Alice Cooper, Hall of Famer. Jason, almost not a killer, but for him, he is very engaging. If you don't know Alice Cooper, he doesn't mind saying this. He's got 45 years, give or take, sobriety. And he's straight up. I understand he's a scratch golfer. I don't play golf, so I don't know what that means. But I guess it means he's really good. And he's probably a great stand-up kind of guy when you see him at the shows. For those of you that have met him, he just sits there and talks to the fans, has a good time, and signs autographs just like any other person sitting there. And the guy's a Hall of Famer. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
And of course, if you haven't gotten your autograph or your selfie with CJ, he's gonna be back over across the way at his table after a little break. And what time is your pro photo op?
5:45. Anybody wants to die by the spear? Come see me.
It's
And
so
if you-
cool. He's gonna be, I mean, he will be
It's only a
Jason.
full wardrobe. If anybody comes by the table, just one of the pictures on the corner is of me in full wardrobe 4 months ago at an event I did at a campsite. So you can actually look at it and go, "You're kidding, you're gonna wear that?" So and for those of you that have the opportunity, photos with me in wardrobe, when you come around the corner and I get a hold of that shirt, I will be.
Hold on to your children.
I'll be there.
Well, let's give a round of applause. A huge round of applause.
Guys, thank you. I mean this when I talk. Thank you, because without you, I wouldn't be up here. Even though I rag on Kane Hodder all the time, Kane.
We love Kane.
We love you guys, all right? We appreciate you very, very much. Peace.